Welcome to Classic Car Cave. So finished with the barbecue and working now back on the car again. I've got another weekend before Amir comes back, and then we can start finishing the inside of these wings to get all the underseal or the body shuts in. I've bought all the paint, bought all the to put it into the gun to spray it all inside. But we just need to finish them up with the lead loading and stuff. So what I'm going to do now is go the bits that I've built. I'm going to have to take these wings off, these rear wings off again, and repair the new bits that I've put in, because obviously as I put them in on the tonneau cover, I couldn't get to the underneath because obviously the wing was in the way. So I've taken all these screws out already, these splash guards. So what I'll do is I'll start taking this wing off so I can actually get to it. One of the problems we've got with these wings is on the B post where the wing actually attaches, or where the wing edge attaches, we must have had these wings have been off more times than a hooker's panties, or been up and down more times than a hooker's panties, that's for sure. And unfortunately they would have been imperial, I would imagine, the B-post threads on the bolts, on the welded in bolts. And I think the nylocks I had were actually metric, and it's actually damaged the thread. But it's damaged the thread on the end. When you go further down, it's catching, but it's not. But it's not as you're trying to pull them in. So what we're going to have to do is I'm going to have to buy some, unless I can get some imperial from the UK, which is a big hassle. I'll just get metric nuts and bolts, and we will completely put new ones in so that they fit. But what I will do is I'll use normal nuts and then put nylocks on at the end as a backup so that they won't come off, or star washers, whatever. So I'm going to take this apart now. There's only a few bolts in it. And as I say, I've not been able to push this up tight, so it's one of the first jobs that we're going to have to do. So in this video I'll just repair the bits that I've done on this side, and I'll repair the other side as well on the tonneau, get all that ready, and then we can replace these bolts. I'll get some new studs. I think there's 7 in each side, and we'll just replace them one at a time. We'll have to cut them off and re-weld them in place. Yeah, we'll have to go from there. So I'll take this off and I'll bring you back when I've got it off. So I've got all these bolts off on the wing. I'll just take this last one up here and take the whole thing off. So I should be able to pull that out. There we go. Good. So now I can get to this piece here, so I'm going to have to there we go, cancel that out. So I'm going to have to make a repair piece for that corner there, and clean all this edge up. I can do that when it's on the other way up, and see how we get on. But these are the studs I'm talking about here. Yeah, I mean, once you've got the nut further down, the thread is okay, but we'll just have to replace them all. They're all just, they're okay. As I say, once you get them down halfway, then they're catching, but they're the wrong thread. They're fine, U and F, but they're metric. That's okay, but when you try to, it's just not. It's going to be easy to replace them. I don't think we could even get could recut the threads. I think they're so badly damaged, I'm not sure. That one's a bit bent as well. Anyway, we'll have a look and see what we can do, but they definitely need to get sorted. So I'll make up this little piece here, and I'll start on the other side as well. So I've taken this patch back out again, which I mentioned in the video before. This is the one I did from, we'd done one on a door, which was very easy to get to the back of, and we did it Fritz's Fabrications, who I watch. We did it at this 45 degrees, but it left quite a lot of rusty edge to it, and then when I welded it I couldn't pick it back off, so this is why I decided to take it out and cut it again. And you can see there where the rust bits are on the top and the bottom there. So I cut them out, but I couldn't get them back out because internally it was blind. I couldn't get to it, I couldn't clean it or anything. If you've got a panel where you can get into the back, then it's not a problem, you can get these bits out. But this is why I took them out, because it was such a mess behind. And I've made a new one up here, so that'll fit inside there. And then what I'll do is I'll get that, I've got a nice gap there where I can weld it in, and I've got the right shape as well. So it needs to come out a little bit from the door. The door's a bit in here, so that's what I'll do. I'll pop that in. So, and I can either use magnets. I've got these little magnets I can use, so I can do it that way. What I want to do is basically bring that in line, and then I'll get it all put back in. It's just very difficult. If the wing unbolted, it would be fine, but it's all welded onto here, so that's a bit of an issue. So anyway, that's what I'll do. Pop that on, and I'll carry on with the back piece. Sometimes, if something's not working for you, you know, the only advice I can give as an amateur restorer of my own cars, I don't do it professionally, is sometimes just walk away from it, because if you keep looking and keep looking, you can't see what's wrong. Sometimes another pair of eyes. This is a great thing working with Amir and I, because he'll come up with an idea, or I'll come up with an idea, or we'll amalgamate them. But when you're doing it on your own, it's very difficult. You look at something, you think, oh, that's not right, I'll do this, I'll do that, whereas somebody else might hold it or clamp it in a slightly different way. One of the other things I've mentioned to other people before, I was speaking to Sean C, BMC Workshop. He's just put a complete new front on Angus, and because the wings are black, or they're in transit paint, and he's got a green bonnet and a red door and so on, sometimes it's difficult to see those lines. It's not a bad idea, and it's not that much of a waste of money, just to put some real cheap primer on both surfaces, so you get to see the gap with the same colour on it. Sometimes a colour can make it look worse than it really is. Sometimes if you just put a bit of grey primer on, beige, whatever colour you want, but make them the same, you'll see that the line's a bit better. So colours can make a massive difference to a shut line. That's something to keep in mind. Anyway, I'll bring you back when I've got this started to tack welded in. So a couple of quick things before I knock this one off, or knock off for the night. Yeah, as I said, you can see there where I built that new edge. And what I'll do is I'll put a plate in from underneath, and then we can lead load that down. But I'll put it in from underneath. Put this patch in now. This is looking pretty good. So you can see that it's the gap is pretty good all the way along. And right there is where the join is, you can see. So there's plenty of room for the lead. And here where the join is, it's in very slightly mil or so. Again, that'll give us enough depth to put lead on to finish it up. I also cut out this piece here that was bad. This needs a double skin on it. Don't know if you can see it there very well. I'm probably in your way, there you go. So I took that piece out, which is, here you could see it was corroded. So, yeah, you can see it was corroded. So I'll put a double skin on that. I'll do that from the inside and from the outside. So I'm in your way there. So yeah, we're getting there. Again, what I was saying about the gaps, you can see with primer being the same colour or whatever colour, you can see the gaps much better. It highlights it. I was mentioning that before. I'm trying to work out what was made. Ah, that's what it is. There's a piece of metal under it. Ah, that's better. Yeah, good idea if the floor is clean. There's a bit of metal on it. I wonder why it was so wobbly. Yeah, when you stand on it, it's better. Good. Okay. Yeah, so this is all the gear I've got for doing the stone chip or body schutz, as they call it in German, auto schutz. So there's the sealant. It's all Terrason. So there's vehicle body sealant, and then we use this, and this is in light white, with Weiss, I should say. So this is what we'll use, and I've got plenty of it there. So once we get these wings done up, we can start preparing the underside all the way through. And yeah. So, excuse me. So on that note, I'll say good night, have a good weekend, and I'll catch you on the next video. So stay safe, keep the faith, enjoy your hobby. Take care.